Good evening, friends, and welcome to another Live Reality Games podcast. We are stoked to come back and talk about Survivor at UVA Wahoo Warriors, episode 6. I got to tell you, this episode, everything was broken wide open in episode 5. Anything could happen, and it did. It does. And we're going to get right into it. And I'm super pumped. I'm here today with somebody you've seen a lot of podcasts with, Naomi. Finally, we get to do one together.
I know. If you weren't sick of my voice before, well, here's this episode. No, I'm so excited to be here. I have loved this season. And when Genki messaged me this afternoon, I was like, this is the best day of my life. So I'm so excited to be here.
It's awesome to have you. And with us as well, one of our favorite commenters, Mario. Welcome.
Thanks for having
Just a
me.
commenter.
Yeah, I love watching these things because I like to hear what people have to say about the show. I lived it, but like seeing people watch and hearing their takes on it is just always so fun to see.
And I'm excited to hear your take on what was going down right at the start, but we'll get into that shortly. And also with us, the unfortunate episode 6 boot. Super sad, Hannah, but welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everybody. Can you hear me well with my, audio's good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, sounds great. So yeah, let's get right into the episode. So, episode 5 ends and we have a majority alliance that goes against themselves. They blindside one of their own members. Everybody's confused. I'm confused. We're confused on the podcast. We're so confused. We didn't do a podcast last week. We're still thinking about it. And then at the start of the episode, Mario. Oh my gosh. So you have the whole episode title, Bitches in My Pocket. You have a lot of bitches in your pocket. You have a lot of pockets.
Yeah, I have to collect a couple bitches for this season.
So yeah, so basically it starts off and we get the way you flip the vote. Do you want to just go do a rundown of do you remember this going down at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.?
What did you do?
This isn't even your tribe.
Okay, so you didn't really get this in the editing, but me and Lauren are really good friends, and we actually interviewed for the show together. So we had been communicating since day one, but since we're so good friends, we never recorded anything because it was just like organic conversations that we would have. So we had been exchanging information about tribe dynamics since day one, and she had disclosed everything about the Surviving Six Alliance to me. So that way I knew who was like with who, and then I also knew who was on the outskirts. So the night before Tribal, Margaret had told me how basically she didn't get any leeway with the people on her tribe and that she was going home. And I was like, okay, this is not going to happen. So I'm in a lounge with Lauren, and it's like 4 a.m. and we devised this plan to get out Katie because there had been some rumors about Katie hanging out with Ellie. So I was like, okay, well, let's blow this out of proportion and get Katie out. So we hatched this plan, and then we're like, well, we can't talk to anyone right now because it's 4 a.m. and they're all sleeping. So we set an alarm for 8 a.m. and then we get to work, and we called Hannah, we called Ethan, and then Lauren gave me Max's number and I called Max. And then I told Max, hey, look, you're on the bottom. This is what's been going down. I need you to vote this way and we can talk later after Tribal. And he was like, okay. And then Ethan was friends with Lauren, and Lauren was like, all right, Ethan, you got to do this. So then we group call Ethan in the lounge, and we're like, hey, Ethan, this is what's going down. We already got Max on board, blah, blah, blah. We're talking to Hannah after this, and you should do it. So then we call Hannah, and we're like, Hannah, so we think you should vote out Katie. And she's like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. And we're like, we really think you should do this. And she's like, no, it's fine. Margaret's going home. And we're like, all right, then I guess she's just going to have to be out of the loop because we didn't want to alert anyone that Katie was going home. Mm. So then a couple hours before Tribal, it was a 9 a.m. Tribal. The vote flipped.
That's pretty crazy, incredible. Now, I have a couple questions for you. Does
Just a couple.
Lauren, just a couple, right? No, the whole episode. Did Lauren know about the Super Mario Brothers alliance at that time?
Yes, so in order for me to basically save my behind, I had to be very open with who I was talking to, because I was talking to so many people. So I was very upfront with Lauren, but I also was like downplaying it at the same time. So I was never like, Super Mario Bros. Are my top alliance. I made sure that she was comfortable enough with me. The same way with Margaret and Ryan, that they didn't feel threatened by how much information that I had. So I was very like strategic in how much I would tell them that we were hanging out, but also like vice versa with Margaret and Ryan as well.
Were you aware how close? Everybody keeps saying Ellie and Katie, but were you aware that Tommy was as close to Katie as Tommy is, and that there would be that would come out?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
so we knew that, and immediately after Tribal, that's when we went to damage control mode. So basically, we knew we had to contact um, Tommy afterwards, and they kind of talk about it in the episode. But basically, Lauren and Ethan had to meet up with Tommy. He didn't believe anything that they said, but it was
Oh.
like we still had to do it in order because I kind of like flipped it to where Lauren would catch most of the dirt as far as like who was controlling the vote. Um, just so I didn't like get voted out, you know. But yeah, so it was completely damage control mode after Katie got voted out.
So we're kind of jumping around because that's revealed to us. It's a really interesting episode. So the editing is fantastic, in my opinion, because we go back in time to see exactly what happened. It's kind of like a Big Brother technique. They don't do that on Survivor very much. But Hannah, you gave us some of the most iconic reactions at that tribal council, like
Mhm.
everything from right at it to right afterwards.
Hannah, you okay?
Yeah, sorry, my audio is all messed up. Pretty cool. Anyways, so going back to the phone call that they called me, Lauren called me at like it was like a very early, and she was like, "I think we should you should do this." Like she wasn't like, maybe like I'm very new to Survivor, so I didn't know that she wasn't gonna reveal everything. But she was like, "I think you should do this." Like very wishy washy, and I was like, "Why would I do this 30 minutes before Tribal? Like that's just stupid." But then I guess like, obviously it was already in the works. Yeah, but the whole big thing there was that we, through the challenge to save like Lauren or to save one of the other people in the surviving six, and that came just to bite us in the ass. Lauren, I'm not talking shit. I mean, Lauren, outside of the game, season 4 is so close. All of us like that were first years in season 4 are also super close, but she did do me dirty, honey. She did. And then after it was revealed, I was like, "There's no way like that Tommy voted for Katie." I mean, I looked at him, and he was like, and then I was like, Ethan had to." And I know in the hindsight, I should have talked to Max more. I kind of was just like out of it. I didn't even know what I was doing. So yeah, but
well, it's like Tommy really has this plan. He's like, we're just gonna make sure that we vote out the other tribe, and like it's such a sound plan. You guys agree on it so far in advance that it's so comforting to be like, well, we got this plan. We're gonna go forward with it. No worries. And then things start to sort of change behind your back. I think that's one of the worst positions you can be in Survivor, is just where you think the plan is so solid because you want the plan to happen, and then everybody else is like, what if we screwed up the plan? And then it just goes all out of control.
Yeah, totally. I was like kind of so new to the show. Like I've watched it so many times now, like so many episodes, and been like, damn, that's where I messed up. But I was so new to the show. I was like, why wouldn't somebody follow this logical plan? Like,
right.
It just seems perfect. I never thought that little Mario over here would stick his hands in everything. So yeah, I was a little surprised.
Not little Mario. But also the thing is, we found out that they threw the challenge. So that pissed me off. I was like, you guys are throwing challenges now? That's what we're doing. So me, Margaret, and Ryan found out, and he told me and Margaret. So then we met and we're like, okay, this is not okay. And I think we had a group confessional after that. And we basically was like, this is not how you play the game. And yeah, so we got really upset, and I was like, okay, we're gonna make them pay for this. So that was part of like the fuel, because I didn't know anything about Survivor prior to this experience. Hadn't seen an episode at all. I literally signed up because Lauren told me to at the activities fair. I didn't know what an idol was. I didn't know what a blind side. It was nothing, and I think that's partially why I didn't see how big of a move that this was,
Right.
because
This is a bold claim. I love it.
Mr. Drum.
Okay, I agree. But yeah, so I didn't know anything about the game, so I didn't realize how like much of an impact this would have had. And yeah, so I was just trying to save my ally at this point. Like I didn't know.
I mean, the thing that like registered to me, and I was very curious, Hannah, if this registered to you, was like the fact that Mario went so out of his way to save Margaret, because the vote was always going to be Margaret, it wasn't going to be Ellie. Did you sort of notice that and say, why did he care so much about Margaret? Like, did that ever occur to you?
I don't know, not really. Honestly, I just wasn't even like thinking about stuff. I don't think I was just so like, I think somebody said that, or somebody said like I was like such a like Ellie said this. I was like so elitist or like so when I was playing, like, you know, I was like, I'm the top dog. Nobody can like shoot me down. They shot me down all right. So I was like, and I honestly knew some of the stuff like Lauren told us about Super Mario Bros. And then obviously I knew about the Katie and Ellie thing. I just didn't like think about how serious this could have been. So yeah.
I think your instincts were right, Hannah. You had a lot of like good stuff that was happening. You made some moves. You had your claws out at other tribal councils. You had your knives out as well. I mean, you definitely played the game before you got voted out. And there's something to be said about that. And we've all been there. Well, I think a lot of us have been blindsided in that same fashion. I have, for one. And it's surprising. It's shocking when you go through it. It's especially when you think you are in a dominant position. But yeah, the aftermath is fantastic. Like I had so much. I love the whole Tommy and Ethan sequence, because it's like two people that are not trying to work together, trying to work together. It's so great. And it's like they're both like semi-aware that they're both playing each other. It's fantastic. I love the whole sequence.
I loved that, and I also loved earlier in the episode where Hannah, you're walking with Ethan, and you're just on the phone. You're like, "Holy shit, this just happened!" And Ethan's just like he's trying really hard not to. Because it is so funny the way he doesn't know. I mean, what do you even say in that situation where you're the flipper, but Hannah's like, "Come on, Ethan, we're going to meet with someone," and you're like, "Oh shit, I guess I'm gonna have to tell them that I flipped." I thought it was amazing. It was so funny. And this whole episode is like a great testament to like trying to make new connections and people trying to play each other. But I thought it was really funny. Just overall, such a funny edited episode.
It was hilarious. A lot of Ethan's close-ups are fantastic in this episode because he's like trying to hide the fact that it's a lie, and he's doing it. It's really cute. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. So how did the sequence go? So Tommy hid the fake idol back where the idol was found.
Right.
And then Ethan and him go to look for it. Ethan finds it, doesn't believe it's real. I mean, I love it. I can't wait to see if this idol gets misplayed as well as everything else seems to be happening this season.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see if more of you F it up.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. There's so many powers. I literally cannot remember between episode who has what. Mario, can you give a lowdown in that episode? Like who had what?
So Tommy had a real idol, so he found Kevin's idol, and he played that because he didn't know, like he didn't see why people would work with him after just voting out his ally. And then Ethan has the fake idol that Tommy gave him, and Kevin and Margaret have two half idols, and then Peyton has an idol.
And then I have my idol.
Yes.
And then Hannah has a lifesaver idol. that she
So,
gave to Kevin. So
why
Kevin has
didn't
1.5 idols.
why didn't the half idol come into play more? I was a little curious about that. Like, why Margaret didn't leverage that more?
She tried to. So basically, I met with Margaret that week that she was going to get voted out. And she said she basically didn't tell me and Ryan that she had the idol. But in order to gain my trust, she told me about the idol. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with Kevin. So I might be able to talk to Kevin about that. So me, Margaret, and Kevin sat down and we chatted. But like, we didn't basically bring up the idols, but we wanted to kind of like start to build a bridge because she wanted to like use him to get the idol. But then they talked separately, and basically Kevin wanted a full idol for a half idol, and we're like, no, like, like no, he wanted a full idol for an idol clue. And Margaret was like, that doesn't make sense, and I'm not about to do that for you. Like, I'm not about to give you a full idol for a chance that I get an idol. Like, that's not going to happen. So
Wow.
I think it was just like because they didn't talk in the beginning, and I might have been telling them Kevin was a bad person since day one.
I might have.
Yeah, because me and Kevin lived in the same dorm. So after the first challenge, Kevin like met me outside the dorm and he was trying to like get information from me. So I immediately texted Morgan and Ryan. I was like, yeah, Kevin's a snake. Like, don't talk to him or whatnot. And then Kevin did the same thing to me, but Lauren told me that Kevin did it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really trust this guy, which also is kind of like in the clips. And you talked about it a little bit in the last show, how I call Kevin out all the time. But yeah.
It's in this and it's in my notes. I'm like Mario is such a Boston Rob. Like you literally say to Kevin, "You ain't shit. You ain't shit." Like over and over. I'm like nobody wins Survivor doing that except Boston Rob. And speaking of Alan Drum, who just made another comment, I want to point this out. He watches everything. So if you see this man comment, just know he's watched every live reality game out there. And I totally agree with this. Like these are some like crazy veteran type moves, and you're not a veteran at all.
No, sir.
Alan, where are you on the Survivor New York streams? Hit me up. All right, come on. No.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to like focus on Hannah for a second because I think Hannah, I think normally in this position, someone who hasn't played before gets blindsided and goes, "Oh my God, it's me next. I give up." And what I really admired about you in this episode is you never ever gave up. You were always trying to figure out, well, who's my best option? What can I do? What do I think can happen here? And that's like why I love this episode so much is you were always like, all right, I'm gonna fucking try this. I'm gonna try this. And it really was like, I think that you made the right move of kind of targeting Ellie. You were excluding Ellie from the groups. Like I thought you were doing a lot of the moves that would be successful in any other situation.
Yeah, I really tried. So Ellie made a comment, which was very interesting. At the time, she's like, she said, I don't really care about this season, or I'm not trying hard, or something like that. I don't know exact wording. So I tried to use that because all of us, obviously, as you see by Mario staying up to 4 a.m., all of us were like busting our asses. We were staying up late, sacrificing other parts of our lives to play this game. And she's like, oh, yeah, I mean, her confessionals was like, look at this black mold in my, apartment. Like, I don't want to hear about your black mold. I want to hear about your alliances. Like, and so I try to really like take that and amplify it. And maybe you'll see later in the season if that affects anything or doesn't affect anything. You'll have to see. So,
But okay, I guess I'll keep watching.
The black mold, though, I tell you,
Right?
I mean,
girl, you got to move out of that house.
But why would you say that on camera?
she was getting like the real Survivor experience, like living that place. Anyways.
And to Naomi's point about you, Hannah, we could talk about the challenge. So it's revealed, it's the traditional blindfold, grab puzzle pieces or some kind of pieces, and they have to build a tower so high to win the challenge. And there's also a clue hidden, and it seems like anybody can go for it. And Hannah, you go for it.
Oh yeah, I sprinted so fast. I don't think I've ever run that fast in my life. Like the camera room was like, slow the fuck down. We can't capture that.
But then you capture it and then you tell everybody.
Well, honestly, I think that was a good move on my part because everybody already knew that I had it. So like it would just be more snaky of me to not give it to everybody. But also then obviously what happens there could, what happened with Ryan hiding the fake one could have happened obviously. So and it did. But yeah, I don't know if I can say this. So I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, don't say it.
Yeah.
This is spoiler free from any episode beyond. But anyways, so yeah, I'm just curious. Did you ever eat that lifesaver?
No, I didn't.
I would have crushed it.
I didn't eat it. Maybe
just go to a vending machine and buy lifesavers. Why do you have to eat your idol? No.
I mean, here's the thing.
You never know what's gonna happen in the future.
Right. What if Genki says, "I'm sorry, there's no lifesaver. This idol's invalid." Like
I should have known, but I also was like thinking off the thing. I was like, this is a college organization. Like, are they gonna like actually spend money on like real Michael shit? Right. Yes, they are. But I was like, oh, this is like funny. Like maybe they're doing it for jokes, I don't know.
It is pretty darn funny, I have to say. And I hope that if you guys have a Ghost Island season, it'll come back and like a whole pack of lifesavers is like 5 immunities.
An entire candy necklace is hidden.
Yeah, you just open the bag of lifesavers to tribal council. You're like, I'm safe. Let's go.
Here we go. That's why they're called lifesavers.
I mean, Mario should really be called the lifesaver here. Margaret owes you a ton.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
But to Hannah's point, I mean, this is a tactic I used in BC. I told people about the idol clue too. I thought it was in my best interest at the time. So I could totally see why you would do that. Now talking to you about it, it makes sense. I was just secretly hoping I wanted you to find it and keep it for yourself, like everybody wants, Now I'm so curious. Am I correct? Nobody actually found it.
So the thing is, during the challenge, I sat out, and then Ryan was also building the puzzle. So we both saw Hannah go for the clue. So she had no choice but to like say it. So it couldn't have been a secret at all. Mm-hmm. And also like the other caller would know as well. So then that comes in with a dynamic, and then we're also like playing as if we're in an alliance at this point. Me, Ryan, Hannah, and Lauren. And then so like she tells us, but we're like upset at her at the same time because she's working so hard to stay in this game, and we all want her to leave the game. So like we're like, as soon as she ran for the clue, me and Ryan look at each other and we're like, oh shit, like why is she doing this? So then like we immediately start texting in our group chats and we're like, okay, Hannah has a clue, we need to find it before her. And that's when like you see the clips of Lauren, Ethan, and Ryan going out. I personally don't look for idol clues because that's just too much work for me.
He gets his minions to do it for him.
And I kind of forgot what your question was, Kurt.
I did too.
I think the other thing is, again, speaking to like Hannah trying her best, like if Hannah holds on to that idol clue and doesn't tell anybody, then you guys are like, well, Hannah's a fucking liar. She won't tell us what the idol clue is. Like, it's a bad look. And so there's an off chance where you guys are forgiving and you want to work with her, where her sharing the idol clue is like a positive step. So like it was a no-win situation, but I do think this is the better choice in trying to be in people's good graces.
Yeah. Like looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have ran for it. People say like that's the reason why we lost. Y'all, I ran that thing in like 7 seconds, faster than an NFL quarterback. Like that was not the reason why we fucking lost. Like it was because you can't find those bags and you weren't listening to me yelling my voice. Anyways, whatever. But
people never listen.
I kind of just played balls to the wall. So I was like, this is supposed to be fun, like this is my first year of college. I was like, I'm just trying to do me. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a really good choice that they picked you because you have a very distinct, you can be very loud voice. And I was like, oh yeah, they're going to win this. Like you have the perfect calling voice. And then they were all over the place. Like,
yeah, I could not hear Peyton at all. I didn't even know who was calling for the other type because I couldn't hear her.
I was surprised. I was like, you guys could hear me literally halfway across campus. Like,
we were just a better tribe. That's all.
Shaking hands, Anderson, you know.
So,
Come on, what else you got in those notes, Kirk? You said 3 pages. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to read my chicken scratch right now. So we're post challenge, and like, oh no. So first, I have so many thoughts. So the legacy advantage, I want to talk about this. The legacy advantage, the fake one, I thought this was actually a really good idea because switching it into a fake idol is a better move. I didn't realize it until it happened. The legacy advantage could be you could cross-reference it. You could text message the person who was voted out and prove that it's a fake. I don't know if Ryan ever thought about that.
Well, are there rules to not talk to people who are voted out of the game?
Yeah, so you're not allowed to talk to anyone outside of the game.
I don't trust cheaters. I wouldn't trust anybody.
Ooh.
Well, these guys aren't like, GameBot orgers. They're like kids that we're
true.
all just people in our 20s trying to have fun. Like, we're not going to take it too hard. I mean, some people might, but I feel like I trust you guys are just here for fun and not to be the weirdo who's way too competitive at College Survivor.
I wouldn't trust us too much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that much trust into it.
It seems like the alliances shift up very easily. All right, so I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Is anybody else?
Just a little bit, but I love the sound of my own voice. I can handle it. My question also was with this tower. Ethan was really devastated. Did Hannah, your tribe, talk to him after this challenge and try and I guess boost his spirits? He looked like he'd been left in the rain for a week. Like, I felt so bad. Did you guys talk to him at all and comfort him?
Like, we obviously all were very competitive and into the game, but we didn't want anybody's feelings to actually be hurt. And we saw that it affected Ethan so much, and he really did his best, like anybody in that situation.
Yeah.
Especially because we were coming in, our tribe was coming in, a few minutes late. He did great, so we did talk to him. I think other people reached out to him. Everybody was like, "Ethan, are you okay?" I think even Genki and production reached out to him. We have a great community besides the game. We have a great community at Survivor at UVA. It's definitely a club and a season at the same time. So,
okay, good. I was worried.
I took a note, and I don't know if you guys can remember what part of the episode this was from, but I love Tommy. His bullshit detector is so good, and his reaction is better than Eliza in Micronesia. And I'm just blanking right now what that moment was.
I think that was when Ethan and Lauren was talking to him. I don't remember exactly what they were saying. Mario probably knows more about that.
It was just basically a part of the Ethan and Lauren met with Tommy after the Katie vote to kind of explain what had happened, why they didn't trust Katie, blah blah, that they were still with the surviving 5, I guess, at this point, because no one wanted to make things seem bigger than they actually were. So they kind of downplayed that and basically did a whole lot of lying about what actually transpired before tribal council. And then Tommy was just basically why are you guys lying to me? Why are you wasting my time? Basically saying, I just met with Lauren and Ethan and they just lied to me together for an hour or whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy has the most amazing BS detector, and that's why I really love him as a character. And I felt like Tommy had those great sort of confessionals about I gave you my loyalty, you guys effed it up, I'm out of here, I don't care. I thought it was a great sort of I'm getting off this boat, screw you guys.
Yeah, Tommy had such a good rep, and I basically had it out for him prior to the swap because I would hear so much about how loyal he was, how good of a person he was. And I was like, well, he's not friends with me, so that means he's not going to be loyal to me. So basically I was like, okay, so Katie, sorry, but you gotta go. So that was part of my reasonings for choosing Katie, just to get to Tommy because Tommy had such a good rep. He was such a great player, loyal to the end and he could read anyone. And I didn't trust him. Like, I can't trust someone who doesn't trust me, you know? If you're going to be loyal to so many people, like, you can't be loyal to the whole game. So I was like, okay, if he's already decided who's going to be his friends in the game, I'm not a part of that list. So that means I'm on the chopping block.
And it seems like Tommy's actually able to keep a secret, which I think is a really good thing for a Survivor player. You have to know when to tell a secret and when to keep a secret. And it seems like he's really good at keeping a secret. I don't know. He has potential, but right now he is in a rough spot in this game because we see him go to tribal and completely blow an idol. Like, it even shows your reaction, Hannah, and like I don't know what he was thinking. Like, I really like, why did he think he was the target?
I don't know. I feel like they did all meet without me. Like, what? Like, I don't know.
I don't think
for me. I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, let's go, Tommy.
it was because how easy of a vote it was. Like,
Yeah,
everyone had
right.
agreed that Hannah was a target prior to the challenge even happening. So it was like, Tommy, this doesn't make sense. Like, why would you vote out my ally and then not vote me out right afterwards? So he was thinking like they were coming after him because that's why they went after Katie. But in all actuality, like, we went out of Katie to kind of like break up the surviving six. So he was like thinking this doesn't make sense for them to like hit Hannah. Like, she's like the least connected person. Like, she's already on the chopping block. Not a lot of people like her, but me, I'm a bigger target. So why would they be so willing to work with me after pissing me off at the last tribal, you know?
Yeah. And I had a question because part of why you guys get Katie out is you say, oh, Katie and Ellie are friends. But then, like, Ellie votes for Katie. Did anybody just go, like, wait a minute, why would she just vote out her really close friend? Because I saw that and I was like, that sounds like a lie. I thought it was really funny. But, like, you know, like, you guys didn't even say, like, you know, oh, Tommy and Katie are really close or anything. It was like Ellie, but then Ellie votes. I'm just wondering if anybody, you know, no spoilers ahead, but like caught on to that. Maybe Hannah, even if you caught on to if that was a reason people gave to, like, oh, we need to split up Ellie and Katie. Well, why did Ellie vote for her?
I, like, from my end, I don't think anyone questioned it because we didn't start the rumor. It was Kevin basically starting it, and he was a part of Katie's alliance. We just blew it up out of proportion. But in all actuality, like Katie said at the tribal, they weren't really that close. And then I think Ellie plays in the moment. So when she hears Katie saying, I will vote out Ellie right now, Ellie's like, okay, well, I'll vote out Katie right now, you know? And then at this point in time, Margaret and Ellie were closer because they've been on the same tribe. So why, if she had to choose between two friends of Katie or Margaret, she's closer to Margaret, she's going to choose like Margaret over Katie, especially after Katie said, I'll vote out Ellie right now, just say the word, you know? So I think that's why people didn't question it, because Katie was throwing Ellie underneath the bus to try to save her from being voted out. So yeah.
I
Fantastic.
cannot even try to start to analyze what goes on in Ellie's brain. Like, bless her. Bless her.
It was the black mold.
Yeah, not her fault. Not her
Black
fault.
hole girl.
What are you gonna do?
Move to a new apartment.
Please, I hope you are not in the same place.
Ellie, are you safe?
Another player at Tribal Council, and I'm starting to really look at the edit, is Max. So Max's story, if I look at it holistically so far, it's like he thinks he's in the loop. He wants to come in and play this strong game. Instantly is like kind of blindsided, realizes he has no foothold at all, kind of falters a little bit after that. And then I think he just placed a foot down and I think he's starting to stand up again. And I'm like, oh. And so he's sitting next to Margaret. And I see those two have kind of worked together in these last two tribals. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something to those two. But regardless, I feel like Max is in a really big sleeper position. And I would be scared. His potential to win, I think, keeps going up every single time he survives a tribal council. I don't know. I don't know. How do you
I
feel,
know.
Well,
Naomi?
Hannah, what do you think of
Oh,
Max?
yeah.
I think that's like
well,
I'm
I think
dying to know what you think.
I think I said something that I personally loved in my confessional. I was early on. I was like, Max is just like a kite. Anyway, where the wind blows, he'll go. As long as you hold on to him, it'll be fine. But that's something that I didn't realize that I think Margaret did for some vote. Like I should have told him like right before the tribal that where we were voting out Ryan or Sarah, which one, that we were doing that, so he didn't feel left out of loop. So then he, eventually would flip on Katie and me. So yeah, I think that was definitely a wasted relationship or alliance that I did not use because I was so blindly confident in the ones that I already had. So yeah.
It's hard. Who wants to like have to text like 8 people when you can only text like 5? Like why do you want to talk to more people?
Exactly. No one wants to do all of that work.
You have to
But
hang
yeah,
out with them, spend money. No, thank you. I'll stay inside.
So, Hannah, are there any other hot takes you have from this episode that you'd like to care to share with us?
Let's see, hot takes.
Anything you were surprised by? Someone's confessional, maybe?
I should have known that it would be me. Whenever the vote's too easy, it's obviously you. People are just like, oh yeah, Ellie. That's fine. Other hot takes. I don't know. Like, in the moment, I don't know any of the other ones, but yeah. Fun fact: Peyton from the season and I are living together right now, so she's just down the hall.
Oh, we love Peyton.
And I don't know, we're all very good friends. Like, I don't know, Mario's face makes me feel like we're not, but
I'm not going to speak on that. But I would say that Max's confessional really threw me for a loop. Because at this point in time, I'm thinking me and Max are good. Because we just sat down. Our conversation after it was like 3 hours long. I gave him the rundown of the game, like since day one. And then in turn, you're gonna sit here and say, I don't really trust Mario. How do you get on camera after someone just basically gave you a leg up in the game because Max was just there. Like he was just there. People were using him as a vote. I gave you a leg up in the game, and then you go in turn to say, I don't trust Mario. So I was like a little confused at this point. Watching that back. And we do have access to like all of the footage. So we do like watch it.
No.
Afterwards.
Oh my God. That sounds
We
like an emotional nightmare. I would watch
Yeah.
all of it if I was on this season.
The confessional summaries I read after the season, what people were saying about me, really hurt my feelings.
Really? My fire, baby. I was like, come at me. I know.
Yankee, that's fucked up. You gotta delete their access.
So like we get to see most of the clips beforehand, but it's always fun just like watching them put them all together. But like just Max was just talking so bad about me. I was like, okay, I thought we were cool. But we weren't.
So, Hannah, Alan watching for All Stars. I have a question for you. How did you get cast?
For the first season? For season 4?
Yeah. There's only a first season, so it's black mold on the brain. Don't worry, it goes around.
Honestly, I think there is mold in my house. It's everywhere in Charlottesville. But Yankee, is this season 5 even going to be edited? But anyways, we got cast. I just like walked up to the booth at the activities fair, and I was like, "This seems cool. I need to like let out my competitiveness someplace." So then I had an interview and I got cast. It was awesome. Yeah, definitely one of the best decisions I made during college. I love Survivor. So yeah.
This is just showing me I really should have gone to activities fairs when I was in college.
Same.
And done anything.
Mario, how about you? Same way?
No. So me and Lauren were walking around the activities fair, And she's like, you should sign up for the Survivor thing. And I'm like, what is Survivor? She's like, just sign up with me. And then we have our interviews, and we were late, like we were like super late to our interviews, but they stayed. We texted them the whole time because we had got stuck because we didn't know how to work the buses. So we couldn't get to the interview, but they stayed and we interviewed or whatnot. And I actually got casted as an alternate prior to the season. Um, so yeah, and then but it was like before they send out casting decision, so I still got the initial like email saying, "Hey, you've been casted," and I was like, "Okay, great! Like this is going to be fun." I don't know what to really expect going into this, but I just knew I needed to wear some athletic clothes on the first day, and that was about it.
That's
I had to put
pretty
something
outstanding,
on.
Mario. This is great, Genki.
Genki, you are really like next episode emotionally cruel. This emotionally cruel. I really think this is like some like psychological experiment on you guys because that's effed up, and I don't like.
I secretly would almost want to know what everybody said about me in
No, no,
Survivor
it's so
Canada.
fun.
You
I
do not want to know.
I want to. I want to. I was thinking.
Yeah,
no.
Kurt,
Mario and I are on the same side here, where it's like I know I'm loud and annoying. I don't need other people to tell me that. Like I got it.
You know what really hurt me was Tommy saying that he really wanted to fight me during that sumo challenge. I was like, Tommy, like, really? And then Katie was there. She disagreed. And I was like, is this really how you guys felt about me during the season? So, yeah, it was super hurtful. And I don't do it anymore. So, yeah.
You don't watch the highlights. Just you got a favorite file you're gonna click on.
I mean, because when filming, I basically was doing it like I was on reality TV. That's how I did my interview. I put on this persona as this cocky person, and that's how I wanted to get my edit in because I wanted to get some TV time. They said this was being premiered on YouTube. I said, okay, well y'all gonna make sure I'm getting in the footage. So I was like loud and rambunctious everywhere, and I also wanted to do that to kind of downplay how strategic I was being. So if everyone just thought I was this dumb happy go getty guy, like he's not doing anything, why would we want to mess with him? So that's like I played that up so much, but also it wasn't receptive to everyone who didn't know me, because like Margaret and Ryan, they were like fine because they were like, oh yeah, we've seen him outside of the game, like we strategize with him, we know he knows what he's doing. But when I get to the tribal councils, I'm super quiet, and when I get to the challenges, I'm super loud. So it's like you never know what you're going to get.
And there's something to be said about that survivor strategy. We've seen it with some other players, Mario, where players can't exactly read you because when they compare almost like notes on you, you're a different person. And there's one thing that ties in all of that is you're constantly having fun from the moment this season has started till this moment. It doesn't matter if it's hot, if you're in a tough situation or you're in a dominant situation, you're always laughing and having a good time. And I think that might be key to this Boston robbing of this episode that you've kind of created. It's working. There's a lot of charisma, and I can't wait to see where you take it further in this season.
Yeah, if you let the viewers tell it, I'm going home pretty soon, so you gotta watch out.
Oh
So,
man, I think like I was gonna say watching like so the comments that come in on Survivor New York, people are like, I think this is happening, and I'm just sitting here like, well, that and the whole time I want to be like, here's why you're wrong, here's what's going on, but I can't, so I won't. But that I exactly what you're feeling. Where you're like, shut up, you don't know, you don't understand me.
Yeah, I started trolling them in the comments, not revealing.
Oh, I
anything,
saw one.
but
I laughed really hard at one earlier.
But I do respond because I'm like, dang, y'all reading me like a book and y'all don't even know what's going on. Because like so much is left out of editing, and yeah, so thanks. Alan literally said, I think I am the male version of Feluke. I don't know if you guys seen Survivor Maryland. That like I watched her during this season and I love her so much. because I felt like we kind of like experienced the same type of things throughout our seasons. Um, so yeah, I really love Felipe, and that's a good assessment, Ellen. He knows his stuff.
So we just kind of finished up our episode 6 analysis. Episode 7 is actually out right now. You can go watch it. And am I correct? You guys might know better. I don't. Is there an episode dropping today, or is it next week?
It's next week. So today is just like backup footage and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
just a little
Because
fun.
people vlog during this, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be like clips from their vlogs in there.
I'm very excited to watch.
Very excited. So Naomi, if you have to pick somebody who you think is going to win, who do you think is the winner?
Oh, this is a great. I thought you were going to say who's going home next, and I was like, I said I watched the
That's
episode.
my next question.
Well, I'm not answering that one.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I honestly think I'm fascinated by the way that Lauren is playing because Lauren is really I know you want Lauren to take the heat for what you're doing, but I think she's letting you do a lot of the work and then kind of sitting in the background. And I really am interested to see what happens when she needs to start picking it up a little bit more. I can't wait. I'm really excited. And I really love Tommy. And I want to know what's going on with the people. Like, we haven't seen a lot of Max. We haven't seen a lot of Peyton. Like, I'm excited to see, and even Ethan. I thought we got a lot of Ethan that we hadn't really gotten in previous episodes. You know what? Okay, my winner pick is Ethan. I want Ethan to win. That's who I want to win.
I love Ethan.
I love Ethan.
I'm not only saying that because I know you're watching, Lauren, but like I've been fascinated with you as a contestant. So I have the time to say it. This is also me covering for the fact that I cannot reveal who goes home next episode.
It's also just the way that no one thinks that I'm going to win, and that is kind of hurtful. Like all of these Tommies, Ryans, Laurens, Margarets. No Mario. Y'all don't have anything.
You just saved Margaret to disrespect her like that.
It's just like Boston Rob. Nobody thought he was actually going to win Redemption Island. It was like, oh, he's going to go at some point. He's going to go at some point. That's kind of my take on you. Like, I think you're gonna go. Like I said earlier, who goes up to somebody and says you ain't shit in Survivor and gets away with it? Mario does. And if you win this season, the next time I play Survivor, I'm going up to somebody and saying, you ain't shit. And I hope it gets on YouTube. And I'm going to tag you in the comments to prove I did it. I had the balls to do it. But yeah, I think my winner pick is going to be...
you don't have a winner pick? You've been watching this whole time. You don't have a winner pick?
I know,
yet?
but it changes every episode. I really wanted to
That's
say...
not a winner pick then. That's not a winner pick. You pick one person and you stand by them.
Oh gosh, no, I'm wishy-washy. I flip-flop every episode. I have a short-term memory. No, it's Tommy. I'm going with Tommy.
Wow.
I think he's got a hard journey, but if he gets there, he gets the votes. I really think so. So I'm still going to go with that. I've said it before. And I think Alan Drum is going with Ryan. Genki just told us, secret scenes at 9:00. Join us on YouTube, please. Like and follow them. So yeah, some good stuff coming.
Do you know what happens the rest of the season? Did you sort of pay attention after you were eliminated?
Yeah, I kind of just I think I took 1 week off just to, heal my wounds. But then I just jumped back in. I was part of production, and I'm actually the social chair now. I've been social chair since the season after the semester after my season. So yeah.
Awesome. Amazing.
Wait, so there's a whole hierarchy, like a board that runs it? Like what are the positions?
We have president,
I love it.
vice president,
host,
editing, publicity, social chair, and
do you guys call it the e-board? That's what I remember in college. That's what we call it.
We just call it
e-board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we have that. Yeah.
Yes, I was run crew for season 7.
Yes.
I love this. It's so organized.
Yeah. And then we did something fun that was like how a lot of people bonded a lot. We went to Beach Week, not last summer because COVID, but then the summer before, like 20 of us went to Beach Week, and a lot of the people were season 4 cast members. So we all got pretty close there. Yeah.
I mean, I
tell
love
you,
that. And it's so fun to know that like people stick with it and find it to be it's just like a testament to what you guys are doing with Survivor at UVA, that it is a positive environment that people want to hang out in. It's like very exciting. Sometimes you watch it, you're like, feelings are getting hurt. And so it's nice to see that not all the time are feelings getting hurt.
Most people got over their grudges. I got over my grudges with most players, not all of them. No.
I still have mine to this day. Wait, no. I know Tommy hated me during our season, but me and Tommy are actually really, like, not really good friends, but like we root for each other now, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and what Hannah said is so true. It does take some time after you've been voted out of these games. Like, even if you come in not really wanting to play, there's this feeling that goes through, and some people it's a day, some people it's a week, and I guess there are maybe a few people that hold on to a grudge for a long time, but it's just a game in the end. It's just a game, and you really can build some lifelong friendships, in my opinion. I have.
I don't think so, Kurt. I think people like to chalk up that it's just a game, but my feelings are real. You know, they're valid during this game, and it hurts. Like, I kid you not.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like also some of the things that people say about you during this game can really like hurt you. And I think it's at a point where you can be like, all right, it's a game. Like, I personally try not to like talk so much stuff about people because I was like, okay, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. But some people didn't have that same sentiment, and like, and that's why I would say I still have some like feelings about these people. But for the most part, yeah, we do realize that it's just a game, but we are still real people who went through this experience together, and like things were said, and you can't really take that back. But I'm gonna just let you guys watch because, yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to like distinguish between like the character
Yeah.
and your actual person. Like, I was a very, I at least I would like to call myself like a little bit of villainous. I'd say like some like mean things, but I didn't try to like attack their like actual person. I'd attack how they're playing or their character in the game. But that's so hard to understand when you're in this game. It's so like consuming. You're thinking about it all the time. I remember I'd like think about it nonstop. I'd be like, I wonder who's texting who. I wonder who's meeting up with who all the time. So
Yeah, and
That's so true.
I did not walk away from this episode thinking, oh, I'm sure this season has less stuff going on, when the merge hits. I watched it being like, oh, everything is about to hit the fan. I cannot wait. Like, I think the bigger thing is these games are always, what I think the audience's responsibility is to not be mean to the players, because everybody's being a heightened version of themselves. Everybody's kind of putting on a show. And we see this in other seasons like Maryland and Michigan. We just have to be nice to everybody who's playing. They're putting themselves out there to have a good time and play the game. And the least that we can do is just not be jerks in the comments.
It's so true. And this is something I really forget, because my Survivor experience is going someplace or hosting an event that's a specified period of time. I don't have work. I don't have my cell phone. I don't have real life. And you guys are experiencing Survivor at the same time of all of that stuff. You're balancing everything. So yeah, I could see how it's a little bit easier to separate a game that is separate from a whole semester of your life, because it really is, college Survivor really is also like you're living it fully. Like, so I can see your sentiment there, Mario. That does make sense. It's a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more real.
Yeah, me and Hannah were first years. Like, this was our first semester of college. Going into this, like, people backstabbing us, people like talking mad crap about us and stuff like that. And like, we're also dealing with college and class, and like there was times I didn't even go to sleep because I'm sitting here thinking like they're about to vote me out, they're about to vote me out. You know, it's like the paranoia. You never know what is real and what's not, so you begin to question all these relationships that you have built with these people. You know, so it's like very mentally taxing. So that's what I'm saying. It's a game, but the mental effects that this game has on you is like super real.
Mm-hmm. And it was so hard to know when, like, you were like, oh, you're just hanging out as friends, or like you're hanging out as like should we talk strategy, or am I like, if I'm not talking strategy, you're gonna like use that against me? Like, I went to like some like parties with some of these people. Like, I'm not gonna like freaking talk strategy on the dance floor. Excuse me, let me dance. Okay.
I think I wanted to know, especially from Hannah, now that this is sort of your, let's say, swan song, you're not going to be on our screens anymore. Like, did you walk away from this having a positive experience about yourself? Because first of all, I don't know how the hell you guys are so confident as first years, because I was a disaster my freshman year of college. So like, kudos to you. I keep forgetting that you guys are like the freshmen, first years, whatever. But so in this situation, like, did you gain something from this experience? Did you feel like it kind of impacted you in a positive way, like just yourself, not even like, me as a Survivor player?
Oh yeah, definitely. I like loved the club. Still really active, in it, as I said. And I think like it honestly taught me some parts of myself that, it wasn't always, brought to the forefront. Some bad parts probably that was very selfish and naive, but also like good parts, like, I can make relationships with a lot of different people, and I would probably have never met any of these people before. Like, if I didn't do Survivor, I would have never talked to them. So it was really nice to connect with them, and I'm like we're all like, at least I'm really good friends with a lot of them, and I can always count on them. People are like, Survivor people are really reliable. And even though they might backstab you during the game, they usually don't backstab you in real life. And there's some people out there that will. So gotta look out for people. Yeah.
Survivor does teach you to discern like truth from bullshit. That is true about, in life, which comes up all the time. Hannah, Alan's curious where you are now, what you've been up to since season 4. Well, we know you're living with Peyton.
Yeah,
what else is new?
Peyton, if you like read under her little like name, it says Quidditch. So I actually, after the season, I contacted her and I was like, hey, can I join the Quidditch team, or can I like try out for it? So I've been really involved with Quidditch at UVA. I actually took the presidency from her. Like, she handed down the presidency. So now I'm the president of Quidditch. What else is up in my life? Just booling at
just try not to lose it on a college kid. Like, I just must be crazy to go to school right now. I can't imagine.
It's definitely different. I don't know. I'm just trying to make the most of it, like everybody is. So yeah, just chilling.
Just another day, another Zoom meeting. You know.
How about you, Mario? What have you been up to?
So yeah, I do a lot at UVA. So I'm pre-law, so I'm in like a whole lot of pre-law organizations. I actually founded a pre-law organization after my season. And then I've been kind of like invested in that. I do a lot of council. So we have a 3rd year and 2nd year council. I'm on that. I joined my major, and I'm the diversity and equity and inclusion chair for the Baton Council, stuff like that. Yeah, just basically going to school, joining these clubs, whatnot, meeting new people. I kind of stepped back from the club a little bit after season 7 because I joined all these other things, and then it got too overwhelming. So I handed my run crew chief position to someone else. And then ever since then, I've kind of like taken a step back. My activity has increased just slightly because of like the season 4 premieres or whatnot. But yeah, I'm still definitely cool with majority of people in the club. Same sentiment as Hannah. Club's great. But also other things happen, and I would love to talk a little bit more about that. We don't have the time here for me to get into the Survivor dynamics. But I should be back on this show in the future if Genki invites me. So yeah.
Well, I certainly hope we get to talk to you again on this podcast, Mario. It's been a blast having you. It's been a blast having you as well, Hannah. And again, in 1 hour, we are going to have, or in less than 1 hour, secret scenes. Who knows what you might see? A lot has been happening.
I honestly don't know what's
Me
gonna
either. I just hope they don't.
scared.
Look, I really don't want them to put the clips in of my vlogs because those are super
They're
embarrassing.
going to.
And I don't think y'all want to see that.
Oh, I can't wait. So, hey, YouTube, how's it going?
That's great. Also, happy birthday, Hannah. You're 21. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I know.
If you want fans to follow you on social media, how would they get a hold of you?
They could probably request my. I've actually had a couple friends reach out to me. It was really nice. This guy from Syracuse, whose season's airing right now, Jack. So that was nice. He was like applauding my crazy ass chaotic strategy. But yeah, you can try to find me on Instagram. I'm gonna give you guys that challenge to do that.
Yes.
That's super stalker. I know you guys can do that. But yeah.
Incredible. I love it.
And then for me, my Instagram is just my name, so Mario J. Jones, and then my Twitter is by Mario Jones. So it's fairly simple to find me. You'll see my TikToks up there. And yeah, so
awesome.
When is UVA making a TikTok? We want Survivor UVA to make a TikTok.
Honestly, yeah. We have some great TikTokers. Shout out Hannah and Jonah. Yeah. Not me, other Hannah. There's so many you'll learn.
And Naomi, you have a lot of stuff dropping. Survivor New York, give us a lowdown of what's coming out.
Survivor New York Season 3, Blood versus Water, is airing right now, Fridays. Tomorrow, actually, because the Big Brother finale is tonight, we are doing our podcast episode tomorrow.
And we're missing it.
Well, you know, actually, I think The Amazing Race is on right now. I mean, who's devastated to miss the end of this season of Big Brother? Not me. And also, you can listen to, I have a podcast called Mike White Was Robbed, which is all about hot Survivor takes, opinions that like nobody else likes, but you do. And I just did an episode about why Survivor should not be filming during COVID right now and why you should shut up and not ask Survivor to start a new season. So you can find that just by searching Mike White Was Robbed on the internet.
It's good stuff. Check it out for sure. And then, of course, you can. I just do this, so check us out. Live Reality Games, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it. Dustin knows more. Alan just said, "Go, Pete Morgan." Yes. Love Pete. You can see him in Survivor New York. That is it for us. We'll see you soon.